Before I get into today's video, I'm in Chile right now. Let me show you out the window. Beautiful Arica. Here we go. Okay, to be fair, it is dark. That probably wasn't the best video I could have got. But this is a travel channel as well as football, even though I don't really talk about much about traveling. But I am right now, yes, in Arica, which is right on the border of Peru in the north of Chile. But anyway, that's enough of that. Today I want to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold and why I think he could be the saviour of Real Madrid season. I know that sounds a bit of I don't know, a clickbaiting headline perhaps. I mean, I am trying to clickbait a little bit because, you know, I have no views and no subscribers. Look at the fucking states of this. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it is a bit of a clickbaity headline, but I generally think it's true. So let's get into the video, and I'm going to try and explain why I think our so far failure of a right back signing, we can say, because he really hasn't done anything this season, could be the guy to help turn around our season. Now, if you were to ask me, Aaron, what do you think this season is the biggest problem that Real Madrid are suffering from right now? Honestly, it's a difficult one to choose. We have problems in defence, we have problems in midfield, we have problems in attack. Anywhere that's not Thibaut Courtois, there are problems. But I would argue that I think the least of those problems is defensively. And don't get me wrong, I'm very aware that we don't know if Carvajal is going to get back to his old self again. We don't know if Trent's going to acclimatise. We don't know if Huijsen's going to become the next Ramos for the next 15 years. I'm very sceptical, even though, and I might do a video on this actually, I think Asensio in the last couple of months has started playing really well, but I'm still very sceptical about his level. We're going to be losing both Rudiger and Alaba pretty soon, which needs to be dealt with in the transfer market. The only player that I really have a lot of faith in is Alvaro Carreras, who, by the way, on the weekend against Valencia, that guy was insane. I am so happy that we signed this guy. I think he's been our best summer signing, without a doubt. And yeah, I just think he looked happier as well when he didn't play with Vinicius. I really think he was involved a lot more. I think playing alongside Vinicius, constantly making overlapping runs, and Vinicius not finding you, wasting possession, and again, must be very frustrating. I think he was a bit more liberated on the weekend, but that's another topic anyway. But yeah, defensively, I don't think we have too many problems. We've got the most clean sheets this season with 11. We're number one in terms of goals conceded. We've only conceded 16 goals this season, which is one less than Atletico Madrid and 7 less than Barcelona. So I do think defensively we're okay, or at least it's not the biggest area of concern. So what is the biggest area of concern for Real Madrid? Well, for me, it's a toss-up between two things, but for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of them. And the one I want to talk about today is the goals, is the lack of goals outside of Mbappe. I believe Mbappe has scored 48% of our goals this season. That is ridiculous. We really are very reliant on Mbappe, and when Mbappe's not scoring, you know, we're in trouble. And this is where I think Trent can work his magic, because if you look at our midfield, we've got Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Bellingham. All very, very physical, dynamic, fast, great tacklers. You know, reminiscent a little bit of Klopp's midfield quite a few years ago with Henderson and Fabinho and Wijnaldum was his name, I think. Very workmanlike. You know, they ran so much for the team, and they allowed the Diaz and the Salah and the, you know, Mane, and quite crucially Trent Alexander-Arnold to do their magic. And this is where I think Trent could really explode this season, because he could be playing on the right hand side alongside Valverde, who loves to occupy that right side of midfield, and perhaps a Franco Mastantuano who runs tirelessly for the team, and that will give Trent the absolute freedom to do what he wants. And that's why I think Trent could really change our season around. One of our big problems, I would say, this season is the lack of anything coming down our right-hand side. We are a team that's very left-sided, you know, from Alvaro Carreras being our best informed fullback at the moment, to Vinicius, to Mbappe, both liking to occupy that left-hand space. Gula likes to drift over sometimes to the left, to the right. He drifts everywhere, but he likes to be involved in the game, and because the game is quite often played on our left-hand side, we find Gula over there on the left-hand side. Bellingham likes to occupy that left-hand side. So the point is, very little comes from our right hand side. We also don't really have an out and out right winger at the moment. We don't really have a player who's nailed on in that position. We've also been playing Valverde at right back for most of the season, who's a very conservative right back, which is kind of strange, really, because as a midfielder, he does like to, bomb up and down, and yet as a right back, he kind of, I don't know, I find him to be a bit of a conservative right back, and I thought he might get a little bit. Maybe it's because he also is a bit frustrated, I think, with playing there for so long. So he's probably, maybe he doesn't want to put too many good performances in because then he'll have to play there full time. But yeah, and the point is though, whenever Valverde is on the ball as a right back, he quite often looks to pass backwards, keeps it safe. He's not a very creative right back, and so I think having Trent over there could really open up a lot of options for us that we haven't had so far this season. And for a start, we are definitely one of the best counter-attacking teams around. There's no doubt about that. We do a lot more damage when teams give us the opportunity to counter-attack. Our problem is when teams sit back and we have to circle around possession, try and create something. If you give Vinny and Mbappe space, they will kill you. So Trent's over-the-top balls, through balls, Trent's creativity from deep could really, really free up Vinicius and Mbappe to score a lot more goals, I think, on the counter-attack. And what I like about Trent is from the little we saw against him on Valencia on the weekend, he hit a couple of passes which were a little bit overhit, which I probably put down to him being out for so long. But the vision that he had just to see the run is something that we lack a lot in this team. I thought Carvajal was pretty good at that back in the day as well. I thought Carvajal was probably underrated for his creativity, but we've definitely been missing that so far. So that's probably one of the main reasons I'm excited about seeing Trent. Another reason is that he is an elite dead ball free kick specialist as well, and that's something we lack a little bit in this team. It's true Valverde has a great shot on him, but he's more of a long range kind of free kick specialist, and Gula is also a pretty good dead ball specialist, but he's left footed, so having the combination of Trent and Gula on set pieces I think will offer us a lot more threat. And also as well I wanted to mention, and this might be a bit more damning about our midfield than anything, but I'm curious to see how he'll do a little bit in midfield as well. Now, don't get me wrong, so far from what I've seen with Trent, whether it was England at the World Cup or the little, I suppose, that I've seen with him at Liverpool, I didn't watch him that consistently, so I could be talking out my arse right now. But he hasn't been great in centre midfield. But La Liga's a bit different to the Premier League, and I don't know. I feel like he could be one of those players that over time, once he gets used to the role a little bit more, will have something to offer from that role. And our midfield at the moment is lacking a lot. It's lacking a lot of creativity. So why not? Why not sometimes throw him in there for 20 minutes just to see what he can do in midfield, especially when we've already got, in my opinion, one of the other best right-backs in the world in Carvajal on the bench. So getting Carvajal and Trent into this team somehow, even if it means pushing Trent a little bit forward in midfield, I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to work, but it's something I'm excited to see. It's a new option, and this team at the moment needs creativity. And having a guy like Trent, who's a very rare special football player, I'm very excited to see what Trent can offer to this team. He was probably the signing I was most excited about this summer, maybe Huijsen. At the moment, it's turned out to be Alvaro Carreras, who I think is just, I'm so happy that we've got Carreras on this team. But yeah, I think Trent, by the end of this season, could really have won some Real Madrid fans over. This is what I'm hoping anyway. So I wanted to put out a positive video for the Real Madrid fans. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling then. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you on the next one.